Late edition of the Alpha Nerd Podcast. I am here today, your main host Kyle, with my co-host for my gaming side of things, Andrew.
Hello.
Sorry that we're extremely late today. We had an issue with getting in the door. It happens. So, Andrew, let's go over some quick news that we've come up with today. The re-establishing of the trademarks for Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid.
So that is Konami, a company which historically had a lot of very big IPs in the video game industry. But ever since about Metal Gear Solid 5, which was 2015, I think, they've had a big issue in that they don't like video games anymore. They actually make most of their income from pachinko machines. Have you ever seen those?
Yes, I've seen them all.
You've seen all the pachinko machines? Every single one?
Yes, okay. I've seen them. I've looked at them. But, I have hope. I have a lot of hope because I really like the Silent Hill series.
Yeah, so, you can have hope. That's great. But I just don't think Konami's going to do much about it.
Yeah, they usually don't, but, it is what it is. So, the other thing, and this is one of our main talking points today, is the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak trailer that we just got this Monday?
I don't remember what day it even is right now, so I'll accept Monday.
I think it was Monday.
Okay. Monster Hunter Rise was the fantastic handheld basically follow-up to World, where they kind of took a lot of the parts that made World really good and added in a lot of the historical parts of the Monster Hunter handheld series that also made that a kind of separate appeal. And it was a wonderful, wonderful game that you went really hard into, much beyond what I did.
Yeah, I know. It makes me disappointed in you.
Well, you're probably that for a variety of reasons. But the fact that they're coming out with a major expansion for it is wonderful. They're adding Master Rank. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Monster Hunter games, you hunt monsters. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
But there are hunter ranks. So you hunt harder and harder monsters as you go up the ranks. And traditionally, the games are divided into low rank, high rank, master rank, and G rank. And this is adding... They've kind of stayed away from G rank, mainly because no one knows what the G stands for. And they've went to the word master, which everybody... That's a standard English word, not a letter. So they're adding master rank, which means more monsters, better, more terrifying monsters. And in this game, you fight a single monster with a team of up to 4 players. The monsters have tons of moves. You have a variety of weapons as well for you to handle the monster. You can break body parts, which sounds horrifying, completely out of context.
Yeah.
They're mean. The monsters are mean.
The game is essentially all the grindy parts of a MMO.
Yeah, it does share some similarities with MMOs, like the drop rates for monster parts to craft better weapons. The combat itself is kind of like a more anime Dark Souls.
Yes.
Like it's Dark Souls, but they cut out all the stuff that isn't the boss.
Yes.
And death doesn't have as much of a penalty, but you can still lose pretty easily if you're not prepared.
Yes. I'm excited for the Sunbreak. I'm hoping we get more. I'm hoping we get more than just the 3 big monsters they showed. I'm really hoping that we get a...
Well, they showed like 8 monsters.
No, they showed 3.
No,
they showed the main 3. They showed some of the regular ones in the other maps, but I'm saying...
No. They showed alternatives. That Bishaten was a different Bishaten.
Really?
Yes, that was actually they're doing something they did with other Monster Hunter games, where they take the base model of the monster
and then give it a super version.
They give it a super version. They change the color of the monster, and they're like, "Look, this is one totally different."
Yeah.
So they did add. There were a couple new monsters, but they did do alternatives to existing ones. So yeah. I'm curious to see what the alternate actually is.
I'd like them to introduce some of my classic favorites, like the Brachydios. He was always one of my favorites.
Right, the blast monster. Yeah,
yes.
I remember that one.
I mean, we got the new one. I can't think of what it's called. But we got a couple of them. We got the
I don't have them memorized.
Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice from the DLC.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah, it's called
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice?
Ah.
Yeah, so that one's actually from Monster Hunter World.
Yes. You said.
And that one was a really great fight in that game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it translates to Rise's more kind of dynamic combat, because you can just use that little wire bug and go everywhere.
Well, it was in the DLC a couple months, like last year, that you never completed.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
That
All
was
right.
that was one of the 4 they introduced.
Obviously, only for extremely hardcore Monster Hunter players.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to segue with the statement of hardcore, because I'd like to talk about the game that no one is playing right now, which is Elden Ring.
No one's playing?
0 people.
No, everyone's playing it.
That's impossible. Yeah, there's no way I saw a news article that said it sold like 13 million copies in 3 weeks, which is insane. Like that. All right. To put on a scale of how good that is, most games are really happy if they sell like 1 million copies in the first week. Like, that's amazing. You're gonna get a sequel. To sell 12 million copies since February 25th, that is absurd.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everyone is like, yeah, I'd like to play what is basically Dark Souls again.
Yeah.
But inspired by George R.R. Martin, which is actually one of the first things he's finished since deciding not to finish Game of Thrones.
Good job.
But I'd like to talk a little bit about Elden Ring, because a lot of people are like, is this my Dark Souls? Is it Dark Souls? Yes, it is. When they talk about the Elden Ring, you can swap that for any of the big MacGuffins from any of the Dark Souls games, and it is equivalent. When they're like, the Elden Ring corrupts, literally you could drop in any phrase from any other game in that series, and it would be the same thing. There is nothing particularly unique about the story of Elden Ring. It's sad. It's dark. It is the same story that's been told in every other...
It's Silent Hill with knights. It never ends good. You end slightly better than what you could have.
Yeah, pretty much. People are like, I've never played a Dark Souls game. Should I play this one? Yeah, sure. Just understand that it's going to be really frustrating. It's not a game that rewards you making snap decisions.
No,
It is not a game that it's not a game that holds your hand at all. Fortunately, they've made the ability to bring in friends pretty easy, but without crossplay, you really got to make sure that you've got friends on the platform that you have. Because, boy, if you want to fight a boss and you're like, I'll summon in 3 random people, you're going to get one guy who's AFK. You're going to get another guy who unequips all of his armor and then dies in the first hit. And then you're going to get somebody competent but overwhelmingly frustrated because you summon 3 people, which basically triples the boss's health. And they know that inevitably they will lose. But they'll try their hardest.
Yes, they will.
And then you'll get one shot like 3 minutes into the fight when it's looking good. And then you'll just see a boss move you never expected, die instantly, and realize you have to repeat the entire process. And then you accidentally summon 2 AFK people. That's actually, I'm not even joking about that. That's been my experience so far with summoning people for boss fights. There are so many people that put down summoning signs. In this game, like Dark Souls, you put down a summon sign, someone can summon you to help fight a boss. They put down the sign, they get summoned, they're AFK, they get kicked from your world for being AFK.
Right.
And because you've summoned them, the boss automatically gets more health anyways.
Yeah, it's... me and Cheetah are actually thinking about buying that. She wants to buy it for a computer.
You should.
I want to buy it for my Xbox.
No one's purchased it, Kyle. So
Yeah.
you'd be one of the first. Yeah. I actually have it for Xbox, and it runs pretty well. There's a couple instances where I have some frame rate slowdowns, but it's not in any part that I'd be worried about.
Yeah. I just never been a fan of the Dark Souls style games. None of them.
I didn't like Monster Hunter until some good friend of mine told me I would like Monster Hunter and wouldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's just I've never gotten in that, and I'm scared to put the $60 commitment to it. And then me hate it.
You don't have to put a $60 commitment, just wait for it. I mean, it's gonna eventually drop.
Yeah,
in
but by then
price.
I'm not going to want to play it.
Wow, that is a terrible dichotomy there.
Well, that's how I am. Like, the reason why I was excited about playing it is because
are you bandwagoning, Kyle? Are
Yeah,
you just bandwagoning?
That's what I do.
Okay.
No, I was excited about playing it because I knew I could play with other people. I knew you'd be already on top of it, so I figured I'd be able to play and do some co-op with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wait till it goes down, you're probably gonna be already over it.
It is a massive game, and you make a joke that I'll be on to the next thing, and that's kind of right. I beat a game. I churn games. Games are like butter to me. I just churn right through them, moving on and on and on. I actually beat 4 games since I was last on here.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and they were not small games.
What games did you beat?
Let's see here. I beat Marvel Spider-Man, the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man.
Okay.
That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I liked the story a lot. The combat is still just a clunky Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it's
Arkham
Knight with Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is. It really is. They do a really good job in the characterization, though.
Yes.
The story is very well told. It sets up a inevitable sequel because Sony likes to print money,
Yes, they do.
and it's good. It's just a good game.
Yeah. What's the other ones? You said you beat 4.
Yes.
So let's see what you did.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ew.
Why did you say ew? I didn't like the game from 1997, right? That's when Final Fantasy VII came out, right? I liked the remake, and I specifically enjoyed the remake, and I'm going to spoil this. So if you are listening, I am going to spoil this so hard right now. If you want to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake, just stick your fingers in your ears for a little while. But, all right. Final Fantasy VII, extremely famous Final Fantasy story. Nearly everyone who owned or played a video game since back then knows that story. They know what happens, right? You know what Final Fantasy VII Remake does? It knows you know the story. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake is it's literally called Remake in the title. I'm not just adding that. It is the first 2 hours of Final Fantasy VII expanded into a 20-hour game. It's actually a 10-hour game. There's about 10 hours of padding in there. But it knows the story of Final Fantasy VII. And the word remake in the title is a lie. It's not a remake. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a remake. It's actually what is there a word for a game that is not a sequel but not a prequel?
It's like a retelling.
No, it's not. It's not a retelling.
It kind of is. They
Do you know the story twist?
Yes, I know most of the story twist.
Okay.
It's like if M. Night Shyamalan retold you the same story.
So the story twist, and this is a big spoiler. I'm going to tell you right now. The story twist is that it is actually Final Fantasy VII occurring in a parallel universe.
Yes.
Parallel to the events in Final Fantasy VII from 1997.
Yes.
And people are, like, at least one person in the game is aware of this. That it is, in fact, the universe of the game is, in fact, predestined to occur. And the gist of the final part of the story is breaking out of the Final Fantasy VII storyline. It's a weird meta exploration into, hey, let's take this well-known storyline and just drive a van right through it, while telling people we know that this is going to happen. So let's just keep going.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty clever. The problem is the game has an issue with telling you what's going on. They'll tell you everything but what's going on.
I mean, and that's how it goes. So that's 2.
Yes, that is 2. What else have I beaten recently? All right. I may have exaggerated with 4, but I am almost finished with The Last of Us Part 2. Now, that game was, for some reason, highly controversial when it was released.
Yes. The reason why it was highly controversial is when they first announced it...
There was a plot leak, wasn't there?
There was a couple plot leaks, and the plot leaks weren't good.
I'll tell you right now, whatever was said about it, the game is a masterpiece. I am halfway through it, and the storytelling is fantastic. And I hated the first game.
Oh, I don't like it. I didn't like it.
What, the second game?
Yeah.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
How did you not like that?
I didn't.
It is a
Well,
gripping.
you're not all the way through yet, so.
It is a gripping human story.
Yes, and you're not all the way through it, and when you get all the way through it, then we'll talk about it. That way we don't.
All right,
So
all
I
right,
don't ruin
fine.
anything for you, because that'll give us something to talk about next time.
I mean, the only way I could think that it fails itself is if, like, a Zeppelin crashes into both of them at the end of the game. Don't spoil it. Do not spoil the Zeppelin.
No, it's just.
I want to be clear. The gameplay is not good. It's a pretty clunky third person.
It sparked up a lot of controversy because, while the plot line got spoiled, some of the people that were in the marketing were like trying to throw out to all the PC groups, and they were trying to pander to all those groups. So they were like, "There's gonna be transgender characters and everything else," try to boost sales. Get out the hype train. Like, oh, there might be gay people. This person's gay.
So the controversy was a bunch of people who don't like gay people.
No, that's actually not the problem. Like yes, there's always those pandering, but it just there was that side of it. There's always going to be that side of it. But then when the plot came out, a lot of people were mad because
they killed the white guy.
Some of the
sorry, that's in the first 20 minutes.
Some of the things that they were hyping up weren't really there.
What wasn't there?
Well, some people had problems because there wasn't like a true transgender character.
Yeah, there is. There's literally a transgender character in the second half of the game.
Yes, but they're supposed to be prominent, like the main character. Everyone was expecting to be what's her face, Ellie? No,
Abby.
No. Abby.
Just because Abby has muscles.
Yeah,
but a lady
Abby's
can't have muscles.
jacked.
Yeah, she is
unnecessary.
When you get to that part in the story, and these are some more spoilers, and you do get to play Abby at one point.
Yeah,
and she is ripped. Like, oh my god, she has bigger arms than Kyle.
The people were mad about that because they wanted it to be more like upfront in your face about it.
It's pretty upfront and in your face.
No, they make mention of it, but it wasn't as nearly because
it's literally the entire point of that character.
It's not the entire point of that character. The entire point of that character is they were going to get pretty much sold into slavery. Yes, but they wanted it to be more about. Well, they're transgender. They want to be this. Like they wanted it to be the more pandering type. That's what a lot of people complain. And then a lot of people were complaining about the white guy dying at the very beginning.
Well, yeah, I mean,
which I understand.
The first 20 minutes, people. This is not a shock. The entire game is predicated on that.
When you finish it, I will go over everything I had issues with.
Okay, I don't have any issues with it.
I know you don't. But
it is a deep, complex story. I am very happy that
it's not that complex.
It is pretty complex. It's talking about the cycle of violence, which is a real thing.
Yes, but the cycle of violence was also in the first one, and I feel that was way more human.
I actually hated the first one. I thought the first one was dumb.
I liked the first one. One because it was a...
You're wrong, Kyle.
Oh, well, you can...
You're wrong.
Whatever. The game wasn't... I just don't feel it was that good. Like you said, it's clunky. Gameplay-wise...
Yeah, the gameplay-wise, it's nothing impressive. They didn't do anything revolutionary there. The combat dialogue is terrifying, because when you shoot somebody, and somebody else sees it, they're like, oh my god, they killed... Steven or something. What am I going to tell his kids? And I'm like,
Joe.
Why? I'm sorry. I wanted these guys to be like faceless enemies. Stop telling me their names and stop referring to their family they're never going to see again, because I just put like 3 shots into their upper body.
But I think that's also another
No, I like that because it feeds into the point of the game.
It's a world. It's a real world.
It's not just a world. When you kill someone, you're not killing a random person. You're killing a human being. And so many games are just like, he killed guard X. Oh no, he's to the left. This one, they do a good job of making sure that the shouting in combat isn't like
Unnecessary.
unnecessary.
Video gaming.
Yeah, like this is terrifying to take out of context. Please don't record this, but like
It's recording.
I like
Go ahead, Andrew.
Say it. There was a fight in a gas station, and I shot 2 people, and there was 1 guy left. And I'm like creeping around. I'm like, I don't want to waste any more bullets because you don't get very much. And he's like sitting there, like whispering to himself, like, don't worry, I'm gonna make it home. Like I'm gonna see like my daughter again. And then I shanked him, and I felt legitimately bad about that.
Yeah.
I could have actually just walked away. There was nothing that required me to shank him, and I kind of felt like a monster after that.
Yeah.
Which is the intent. You're supposed to feel
Also,
like that.
speaking of controversies, one of the other controversies where people were mad about Abby.
What about Abby?
Well,
she's super jacked.
Yeah, not just she's super jacked.
Why do you have a problem with the super jacked Abby lady?
No, that's just the one character. That's what cracked me up is almost the people that were mad were not mad because she was super jacked.
What are they mad about?
About her whole story arc with the dude.
What, that she's not gay?
Yeah.
They were
People
mad she was
about
not gay. You know, if you have muscles, that doesn't say anything about your personality.
No,
it just says you like to work out.
People were mad
That's
about
a stereotype.
that. People were mad about that.
That is a complete stereotype.
It blew my mind.
I mean, sure, if you have some weird expectation there, then that's a weird thing to expect.
Be mad about it, right?
Especially with that story, there are so many other things to be like upset about in general because it's such an upsetting story.
Yeah. So as soon as you get through the rest of it,
we'll talk about it.
Because
when I get through the last of it, we'll talk about.
You're on the Abby part, right?
Yes, I'm about midway through the Abby part.
Okay. So when you finish that, we will go over this because I feel like this is actually since you like the second one, not the first one. I like the first one, not the second one.
Correct.
I feel like this will be a very good conversation for an episode.
I think it would be because I am surprising myself because I did not like the first one. I was like, the second one's on sale. I'll pick it up. I'll see I've heard so many things about this game. I should probably form my own opinion. And whoa. Form your own opinion. That is actually a statement most people should take to heart.
Yes, they should.
But I was like, all right, I'll play this. I'll form my own opinion. The worst that happens is I'll play it for like 2 hours.
Well, your opinion's wrong because not everyone agrees with you. Yeah.
But I am greatly enjoying it, and I've surprised myself in that particular case.
Yeah, which I'm really surprised. I really love the first one.
I did not like the first one.
I know,
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite person.
got
Next, you're going to tell me Mega Man's good.
Yeah, right? So we got 2 weeks on that. So, what's the last game?
You know what? You're going to hate me for this.
Oh, I'm already there.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Kyle tolerates me on this show.
Yes.
But I've actually been putting a bunch of time into Cyberpunk 2077 again.
Oh gosh.
So I got a $5 disc on Black Friday for my Xbox, and they put out the next gen patch for it. And is it better? Yes. Has someone T-posed in front of me repeatedly? Still yes. It is still a buggy mess of a game.
I figured. I thought about picking it up, but I haven't seen it on sale again.
Do you want to borrow it when I'm done? I have a disc. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I'll probably borrow it one of these times.
Okay.
Just to upset my fiance.
Keanu Reeves is in it, which everybody should know. And I forgot how awkward his dialogue is in like the first couple hours, where like you're getting to know his character, and it's just so badly written. It gets better towards the end. It really does. And it tries to tell a good story. It doesn't quite get there at all. That game, there's so many problems with it that I don't think you can save it. It's enjoyable in some aspects, but it's never going to win any prizes.
Yes, I think it's safe to say. So as far as games I've been playing, because since you've beaten those, beaten.
There's some air quotes there. Yeah, sorry.
Quote,
I apologize.
Bunny ears.
It's accurate.
I started playing Tales of Vesperia, like we talked about.
Yeah, Vesperia, not Vesperia or Tesperia.
Yeah, it's
or Resperia. It's one with a B.
I like it. It's like you said, when you talk to me about it, you're like, "Yep, this is an anime-esque game." It absolutely is. But I'm okay with it.
Well, you like anime more than I do.
I do like anime more than you, but I'm okay with it as long as it's got a competent story. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't have to be anime, but I did like.
Is the character out for revenge?
Yes.
Oh, what?
It's
no.
So far, I'm like maybe a tenth the way through, but it's so far the standard. You know, these two young people were looking up to a guy, and then he betrayed them, and now the one's out for revenge because they happen to survive. So on.
They
and
always
so
happen
forth.
to survive. What is it with main characters always happening to survive?
So I'm looking forward to it. So far, I've liked some of the stuff. It's very basic with a lot of concepts, but I can be told a story repeatedly or deal with a story that goes through some of the cliches as long as it's told well.
Mm-hmm.
If it's told badly, then I don't enjoy it. But if you can be told the same story as long as the storyteller is good. You will still have entertainment out of it.
That's accurate.
That's where I'm at with it. Is right now, I'm getting entertainment out of it. It's so far.
I want to be very clear. The praise you're heaping on this game is it is currently entertaining.
It's actually very entertaining.
Okay, all right.
It's not like, oh my gosh, it's the most revolutionary game I've ever played.
I mean, no one's ever said that about a Tales game.
But I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to finish playing it. I actually forgot to finish Indivisible because of it. So
you were really liking Indivisible, so yeah, Tales must have really hit the spot.
Yeah, and
there.
I like it. And I am looking forward to beating it. I'm looking forward to beating Indivisible. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Like, I just want to be able to start setting myself up more game time to play.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. Is getting game
when you
time.
have real world concerns.
Whoa, real world? What? Yeah, getting time to play is a big deal. I use it kind of as a de-stressing period, so I devote a little bit more of my day to it because my life's a little bit stressful.
Yes, I mean my life's stressful too, but you have the opportunity to play more than I do. Just
that is correct. I
have
I'm
family
fortunate in that
things. I have other obligations on top of everything, so it makes it a little harder for me to sit down and just play. And then I also get distracted by
Everything.
League of Legends or
League of
something
Legends.
else.
Ew. No one plays that game, Kyle.
Right?
No one.
Nobody.
Did you ever play Valorant?
What?
Valorant.
Oh no, I've never played it.
Really? Is it not your kind of game?
No, I watched Cheetah play it, and I was like,
Just eh.
Eh.
I mean, it's Counter-Strike with heroes.
yeah,
that's it.
yeah, more or less.
So
yeah.
what about what? So I'm gonna keep going into the Riot games here. What about Legends of Runeterra, the card game?
I did not touch that.
It's good. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's pretty good.
I've heard great things about it, but I just didn't want to touch it.
You should,
No,
Kyle. Touch it.
no,
Touch it, Kyle.
just touch it. just the tip.
I think you should just give it a try. It's pretty well done.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weird because if you're used to like Magic, it's such a completely different set.
And I think that's why I don't want to touch it. I don't think that's why I want to go near it, because I stopped playing Hearthstone because I started playing Magic again.
I was gonna say most people stop playing Hearthstone for a variety of reasons.
Yes. I enjoyed Hearthstone for a while.
I think once again, I think most people enjoy Hearthstone for a while. I think you're the standard Hearthstone player.
Oh, I stopped liking after Gangs of Gadgetstan.
Yeah, I look weird.
I like that one. That was my favorite time to play.
I played Hearthstone for maybe like 20 minutes. I'm being a little facetious on that, but I don't know. Just something about it was just like I don't really like that much.
The setup, yeah, it's a setup.
Wasn't my favorite thing. Have you played any Apex lately?
Yeah, I played 3 games before I came here.
You came here.
Instead of playing Tales, I played 3 games of Apex
Whoa,
Legends.
Tales, the game that is currently entertaining you, was not good enough.
No, because it actually requires a time commitment. And I
Yeah.
I didn't want to get stuck in like a middle of a cutscene and then have to cut out and leave and be all upset.
Last 2 teams in Apex, Kyle's like, oh, gotta go, quit.
I usually get killed by then.
You've won matches though, right?
I've won quite a few matches. I actually won like 5 or 6 yesterday.
Okay, all right.
You know?
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing Gibraltar.
Oh, all right.
Gibraltar.
All right.
He's the best character.
I mean, he's pretty good, to be fair.
So
He's
I've been
basically
playing a
the
lot of
winner.
that. I would like you to start playing again when you have some time.
I get on occasionally and play like a match, and then I'm like, I got so many other things to play.
I know.
Like I got so many. Do you understand how many games I have for my PlayStation right now that I have yet to even get to?
See, you have the exact opposite problem. Is I turn it on, play for a couple matches, and I'm like, I got so many other games to play. but I'm already on this one, and this one's quick, easy to just go right in and play. Where the other ones are like, most of mine are story-driven games, like I said. That's where I prefer. So I don't have the time to commit to really get into a story, and then I get sad, and then I quit playing halfway through.
It's a
and
terrible cycle.
Then I don't finish playing the game.
This is a very terrible cycle.
Yes, it is.
Did you ever play Death Stranding?
No.
You should play
I
it.
shortcutted my life and just watched all the cutscenes because
That's not a shortcut. I think it's actually
somehow longer.
Yeah, I
than
think it
just
might be somehow
playing the game
longer.
yourself.
I was gonna say I would love more than anything to see you play Death Stranding. Not even listen to what you think about it. Just watch you play it, and watch you just curse at the screen as Norman Reedus falls over into a ravine.
I saw how that works, and I'm telling you, I would be angry really quickly.
And I think it would be the best.
Yeah,
it would be the absolute best.
No, because that's how I'd be down a controller or a TV. So,
Well, if you get that aggravated, I would really heavily advise you not to pick up Elden Ring.
and since we're about to our 8 o'clock for our short episode this week, just because of lock issues,
Pre-scheduled short episode.
yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yes.
is
Did you
coming
figure out
this
what
week.
the Ghostwire was? This was an open question from 2 weeks ago. You were like, Ghostwire Tokyo, Andrew. And I was like, tell me what the Ghostwire is.
I still don't tell you exactly what the Ghostwire is.
No, Kyle. I will not buy into this game until I know exactly what this Ghostwire is and why it is in Tokyo. I don't care that it looks really cool. I just want to know what the Ghostwire is.
And when it comes out this week and I buy it and I play it, I will let you know.
You know it's only on PlayStation, right?
Oh,
and PC.
Yep.
Oh, you buying it on PC?
I'm buying it on Steam.
Okay, all right. Let me know what the
Yes.
Ghostwire is. I don't care
will
if it's a
let you know
huge
what those-
spoiler.
But I'm the map's huge. They gave you like a
Kyle, I hate to break this to you. It's Tokyo.
well, yes. So
It's a big city, Kyle.
The one of the guys that I watched on random occasions for like his in-depth review on games.
Yeah.
He gave like a short one, and he goes, I was actually really surprised. I was expecting a nice sprawling city, but he goes, when I was getting into it, I didn't realize how much verticality there was to the.
Oh, you get to go up the buildings? Are there ghosts up the buildings, too?
Yeah, you can climb buildings and stuff.
Okay.
Like not like parkour, but you can use your one ability to pull yourself towards ghosts, almost like a wire.
Nope. Still don't see it.
Yeah,
Nope.
right.
Just tell me what the Ghostwire is, Kyle.
I will
Just
figure
tell
out what
me.
the Ghostwire is. But they were going over like some of the enemies, just some light touches on stuff because they didn't want to spoil anything. I'm actually really excited to try it.
I gotta say, I didn't really pay much attention to Ghostwire Tokyo, but everything I've seen recently makes it very appealing. It's a first-person horror game in a sprawling open world that I hope is well done
Yeah,
and not
I mean,
like an Ubisoft
they-
rubber stamp
You
open
mean like
world.
Dying Light?
All right, I played Dying Light for like 10 minutes. I could not stand that
So,
game.
yeah, and like, I don't know. It just seems so interesting. And
Why does it seem interesting? Is it because of the enigmatic Ghostwire? The
Yes.
thing we will never identify.
yeah, right. No, so far, like, it's the fact that it's just a huge sprawling city.
Well, it looks
It's
good.
set
It's also a first-person horror game, which is
Yeah.
not something you see
very
a
often.
ton. Yeah.
Yeah, and then instead of guns, you have your spells, your kung fu hand gestures. Like it kind of looks like kung fu hand gestures, but it's all based off like the different the signs you make with like
Yeah, like Zodiac, like Gemini and
like
Sagittarius.
the
Do you
boar
ask the
sign, the hand sign, the hand signs they use for like meditation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or
like Ghost, you're a
ninja
Libra.
magic,
It says
according to
today
Naruto.
you'll be calm.
You
Is
use
it Naruto?
those as-
Is it
yeah,
Naruto
right?
signs?
So, you use those to help defeat the ghosts.
Okay.
Like, and each one does different things.
How do you kill a ghost? They're already dead.
Yeah, right.
Like, no,
So,
I'm serious.
like,
How do you kill a ghost? They're already dead.
Well, they're
it's
more
just
demons.
dispelling
they're more,
it, right?
They're more demons.
Whoa. Then what's the Ghostwire?
I don't know.
If it's a bunch of demons,
We will find out. Patience, sir. We will find out.
I don't have much for this.
But
It haunts my dreams. Guys.
yes. So, I think we'll talk about that also on top of talking about The Last of Us.
I was gonna say The Last of Us. I'll have that done. In like
And I'm looking
2
at the
days.
clock on the wall, which I'm glad I didn't look at the clock on the wall because the clock on the wall is wrong. So we have 2 minutes left. So, yes, we'll figure this out. They showed that the main character is possessed by another guy,
Is that the Ghostwire?
I guess.
Okay.
Like, and you play as both characters at the same time, like they're in,
Maybe they're connected by the ghost
ghost
wire.
wire.
You know what? Whatever we assume it to be is actually probably going to be better than whatever it is in the game. Ghost
Yeah.
Wire is probably just a newspaper or something.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
it's like a website.
Or like it's the secret organization.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
It's probably going to be that.
Uh,
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, just because we're not getting a Resident Evil game this year.
it's true. Kyle, before we close out, we have like a minute left.
Yes.
Microsoft recently put up a very, very tiny teaser for Starfield, Bethesda's next game coming out this fall. Did you happen to see it? The robot dude?
No, I have not.
Oh,
And I will
okay.
take a look at it, but I wasn't shaken to my core by that in the game announcement, just because I never played it.
What,
And
Starfield? You never played Starfield?
No.
Well, you good because it's a brand new
I
game.
thought it was like a remake of a different game. Like a
No.
different story. Okay.
No, it's a brand new IP.
Okay.
It's in fact
well,
Bethesda's
then
first
I'll
new
actually
IP.
take a look and actually find
They,
my way.
the reference for the aesthetic is NASA punk.
Okay.
NASA punk.
All right. So we'll check that out, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
See you later.